Hi, I'm Doc Marshall with Lessons.io. In this lesson I wanted to talk about the guitar, the instrument that we're trying to play and learn about. And for you folks out there that are brand new to this, let's orient you to what the parts of the guitar are. Now this whole instrument here is actually what they call a chordophone. The chordophone was invented many years ago, 5,000 years, something like that. And it was quite different than this, of course, but all string instruments came from the chordophone. And the guitar, that which we play nowadays, is the most recent modification of that. And it's a very interesting instrument. This large part down here is the sound box, and this is the place where the sound is created and brought out into the room so people can hear it. Now, of course, in order to make that sound, we have a neck attached to the sound box. That's this contrivance here. And then we have tuners up here on the end of the neck. And of course we have strings that go all the way from the sound box all the way down here to the tuners. It's quite simple in regards to the strings being something that vibrates. So when you pluck the string like that, we get a tone. And when the vibrating string goes through the neck and into the sound box, and the sound is created there and comes out the sound hole here. And that's what we hear. And then we have put more strings on it, and of course we have 6 strings on this particular guitar, and we can play different notes. Or we can cut a string off at a certain point, so this note here can become that note there, or this note here. And it is so with all the rest of the strings. So we have an infinite amount of combinations. So like when we play a chord, for example, we have 6 strings that are shortened in different amounts, and the combination of all those sounds comes out the sound hole as a beautiful sounding chord. Now down here at the end of the neck we have what we call tuners. Each one of these tuners is an adjustment for each one of the strings. So this particular tuner here is attached to the top string, or the bottom string, depending on how you describe a guitar. It's interesting that the top string, the one that's at the top near where your face is also the lowest string, lowest tone. And the one that's all the way at the bottom part of the guitar is the highest tone. So it's a little confusing when you say play the high string or the low string. We don't know what anybody means. So when you say low string, you probably mean that one. We're talking tone. The tuners are set up in order from the lowest to the highest. This one's the lowest. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust these strings, the tuners, to adjust the string to make a certain tone. Each one has its own name, and we call this one here an E, the next one is A, and the next one is D, and the next one is G, and the next one is B, and the top string here is E. So we have 2 E strings, E and E. Okay? And then through placement of our fingers, we come up with a myriad of chords, all different combinations. So in order to make these particular notes correspond with the names of the alphabet, just as we did, we're going to adjust these tuners. The easiest way to tune a guitar is with an electronic tuner. This is only one of several types that just plugs onto the guitar, and you plug the little thing over here, and then you watch the screen, and you hit the string here, and it shows up as to what the string is tuned to. Right now it's on E, so it shows an E. And then you go to the next one and it's an A, and it shows A, and so on. When all of the strings are tuned correctly, according to the tuner, we can remove the tuner. Don't forget to turn it off because it has a battery. These things eat batteries like crazy. Now, in order to make sound on a guitar, we have to do two things. First, we have to pluck the string. And although this looks like a stringed instrument, a lot of folks know that this is a percussion instrument because it's struck. These strings are hit, and that makes it a percussion instrument. Other people say it's a string instrument because it has strings. Well, you decide. Either way is okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to understand that we can hit these strings in a number of ways. We can use a pick, like I've got here. This is a plastic pick. They're the normal variety. And you hit the strings either lightly or aggressively to get the kind of sound that you want to get out of the guitar. Another way you can do it is with the fingers, and you can pick them with a chord like so, where each finger is hitting a different string. We can also do it another way. We can use the back of the fingers where the fingernails are, and we can roughly hit the strings. That's, of course, a flamenco kind of playing. Part of flamenco is very difficult guitar playing to do, but it's done very aggressively with the back of the fingers, and that's very nice too. So you've got this, and then you've got finger picking that way. You've got a pick, which you can pick all the strings with. Not quite that way. Ah, much better. And you can also use the pick here, but use the fingers down here as well, in any combination. So there's many ways, and each guitar player's got his own way of doing this. Okay, now on the other part of the guitar neck is where we're going to do our chords and our melody. And so we pick the kind of chord that we want, and we shorten the strings by putting our fingers on certain parts of the neck. These are called frets, and each fret is a raised bar that helps us. So when we want to take the E string and play a G note like that, that fret right there is allowing us to bend the string and make a good solid demarcation so that we get a G note each time instead of something like that. So that's the purpose of the frets. It also is a handy guide as to where to put your hand to play a chord. When we're going to play, it's a good idea to wash your hands first and to trim your nails, because when you put your fingers down, you don't want to get any buzzing or scratch the guitar or hurt your finger or get your finger caught in a string somewhere, okay? So we're going to wash our hands so we don't get the oils from our skin on the guitar. Hurts the finish. And then when we are finished, we're going to take a rag and we're going to wipe down the guitar, because the handling of the guitar itself lets oils from the skin touch, even though we washed our hands. But you want to take those the rag, and you want to wipe off the areas like on the sound box over here, on the scratch plate here, the neck, so that the guitar stays the beautiful instrument that it is. We'll look at some more of the lessons and how we play it next time. Bye for now.